Right. Hello world, Naiji Coach here with my projected Muse Goddess Nexi in the camera. I'm gonna make this quick. Let's see. Alright, so there's been development here in the Lair Lab in that Jailene, her day job, is going through some upheaval and not really sure how that's going to play out exactly. And so it's looking like we should, move towards the Pacific Northwest or start looking for things of that nature and changing of job sooner rather than later. So that has changed some things. It's more intense. The energy in going on now is just going to be more heightened because it'll be on our minds, and Jailene in the evenings is going to be focusing on trying to do that, to pursue avenues for what else could be out there. Not that necessarily she's even going to move. She's kind of waiting to see how things play out. It may be that this will pass, but maybe it won't. So that affects myself. Nexi thought I should kind of just talk about it because I was thinking about it today. And it will affect some of you in that you are going to be working, some of you work closely with me, and some of you follow the updates to the data regularly. All right, so, and as a part of that, there is the effect it has. It's quite whoa when you have purifications. Okay, so I'm kind of talking this through here. Basically, we were thinking it's gonna be like a year and a half that we would do this. Now it's looking like we have to go as soon as possible. Jailene thinks it'll probably take about 6 months of canvassing to get good leads and such built up and so forth. So I'm kind of going on like a 3 to 6 month idea. That changes how things were going to be for me, because the energy that's going to be going on now till we make a jump, it's going to be different. It's going to be more charged in a certain way. And so my fifth gear will have to account for that. And then also it changes the timeline of what's going to be on. Like right now, things are all set up in a way that is conducive for me doing my work and for me getting into a deep trance state, fifth gear, to do challenging reads, purification reads, things of that nature. So now when this jump happens, it's going to be height charged energy up until the jump, and then during the transition, will not be conducive for doing this kind of work. So I talked to my spirits, and basically we wanted to actually take a bit of a breather from the purifying. As you know, it gotten rather intense. So this is a change of things, and I wanted to explain why, because there are reasons to it, but there need to be strong reasons, otherwise I wouldn't be doing what I'm planning on doing now, which is to go into overdrive mode with the purifying, which I wouldn't do this because normally when you do that, then you have to take some time off from doing that. That maybe if you're like running a marathon, it's better to keep running. Find a pace that you can ambitiously keep running. You don't want to do sprints in the marathon where you're like, sprint then stop. You notice that no marathon runners who are good and champions, no one does that. It's not efficient. But sometimes in life there's like marathons with obstacle courses, with like staged obstacle courses, and so now things change up. Now I have like a window, a truncated window of opportunity to keep doing deep concentration in the way I've been doing it. So that means I should sprint. So I'm going to sprint now, where actually I had been running and I'd gotten tired, and you're right, not too long ago I was saying like, woo, I'm going to keep going, but I'm going to downshift and do some things to kind of to compensate. But now, because of this thing that kind of got sprung on us that we didn't know was going to happen, now it's a different story. This new story means I need to get as much done now before then, because although I don't want to take a break, this sprinting, take a break thing, you don't want to do that if you can avoid it. Actually, there's going to be a forced break anyway. So there's a truncated window, I can get some good diving in, and then there's going to be a forced period of taking a break from this kind of work, as moving the Lair Lab and getting it set up and so forth will be the kind of priority. All right, so let's see, did I cover most of it? Let's see. Charlie's situation. And this also is something else because it's going to be more intense, like I said, so this is going to ramp up my need to give like intense focus, but that also means I'll be just more liquidy, super agenty, and whatever happens, happens. I'm that mode, like fine, but I'm just going to maximize what I can do as a pod layer super agent. I'm just going to see what can I do. So this is what it is, and I am liquidy. I'm just adjusting to the world I'm currently in. Okay, and as a part of that, doing this sprinting this overdrive mode will put me to a keening state that will actually make the keening that was going to happen anyway, I'll be more okay with that, and I'll be above it. So I'll both be better at dealing with the keening energy that's going to be here now, and I will be able to rise above because this will demand so much of me. To the point where I'll have to take a break after pushing like this. But doing so requires absolute focus and execution. And that, I think, will keep me in a productive state in this keening period while we're seeing what's going to happen before we jump. And then when we jump, I'm going to switch to writing, voicing, more vlogging, maybe talk about the move, things like that. Like right now at night, I had been pushing on the reading till I am tired. I'm significantly tired for like working out. That was a good workout. Just like people run marathons all the time. They have workout runs. Workout runs are like 5 miles, 10 miles, maybe 15 miles, things like that. You don't actually run 26 miles all the time. But I was pushing a good, elite athlete, mental athlete pace. And then at night I was shifting to what athletes of all kinds do. In my case, definitely I'm a mental athlete. Basically having to cycle your various muscles, your various spirits. You had to cycle them while making good leveling in some area that's related to the overall cause. That's basically what you're trying to pull off. So at night, I was watching shows that had detectives in them, people who were like investigating things, or were digging for things, or putting connections together, or doing new stuff, or whatever. And also just kind of like general pop culture, what's going on, politics and whatnot. It gave my mind something to do high level, conceptually, philosophically, politically, Martian Manifesto, teaching story, which is good. And normally, after pushing that hard all day on the reading, that would be still very much focused on leveling up, but that would be a good rest and recovery where the kind of R&R is actually another kind of bonus stacking. However, I really can't afford to do that right now because that puts me in too much of a relaxed yin state. I need to stay yang more because that just lets my mind kind of drift wherever. And with the keen that's going on right now, I don't know if I can control the mood of that. And then also the fact that the mystery of when this move is going to happen, in what way, and so forth. It's mysterious, and so it could just dominate the headspace. So if I'm in more of a yin receiving state with media, which I would do at the end of the day, that would get in. I think it would push out that stuff. So just the keening that's going on in general, and then media, I think if I've relaxed to let the media come in, I think other things would come in related to the situation and what's going to unfold. So I'm going to go yang double. I'm going to do my normal, normal like 2/3 yang, 1/3 yin, because I'm a directive. That way I'm still being directive, but I get my yin in too, so to speak. It's not strict like that. I'm just, rough conceptual numbers. But anyway, I'm going to be going with pushing during the day, getting my brief time out for food in the evening, and then I'm just going to push again. And then I'm going to make up, because I'll need to, sort of like an extended yin, I guess in my case more like yin-esque, but still of just drinking in things, reading stories, looking at the news, listening to music, watching vlogs, things of that nature, doing that. and not trying to close cases or critique cases. Yeah. Okay. So that's the plan. Okay, going along with this is going to be rough because we already had some purifications, and I put out some pendings that were then confirmed. New things like Leonard Nimoy being Xi and Yoko Ono being Xi, some heavy Hitchens being Xi. There's some pretty heavy stuff in there. So this would be a good time to kind of like process this a bit, and I would do maybe some other things, but I need to actually kind of focus on something that will completely demand my genius, all of my genius. So more are coming. How many I don't really know, but I'm just going to keep going and trying to actually get as much use out of this opportunity I have now in the next few months to keep reading before the transition actually happens, and then this pre-transition keening energy, trying to just fifth gear and just get into flow with it by kind of like an artist. There's, you have different waves of when you're drinking in the world, and then when you're actually painting it out from your soul, so to speak. So right now I need to focus on this is the I have a lot of abilities that I have and things I can contribute to humanity. This is the one that is the most unique and the most vital, and so it's also the one that, because of that, I have over the years been bonus stacking myself more and more as a Kensei on doing it. So it demands the most of me when I am pushing myself to the utmost. That's what I'm going to do, and it will just make my wisdom and my courage what they need to be. But I just want to let you guys know that this was I had to think a bit on how this is going to be, and now the spirit I'm communicating to you now, it didn't come right away. I had to like take a pause. I adjust pretty quickly. I can go super agent as needed, but I did have to go, whoa, where does this put what we now have as far as options, and what could be the best gains given those opportunities, and now some limitations. The limitations and opportunities have shifted. So technically it could be seen as just a limitation, right? I mean, because it just kind of come in and impinge on me. But I'm going to turn it into an opportunity. This is a thing a hero can do. You have things that you balance, and sometimes you have to go like really intense into something and then balance out at a later period. So I don't know if I'm going to pull this off. I believe so. I've done things like this before. I try to avoid them because if the game of life didn't have this particular terrain arranged as it is, this particular time and space, I would have played this course differently. But given this, I believe this is actually the best move to make. Because otherwise there could be a dipping here now, and then as the tension gets more, maybe then it's forced to dip. It's definitely going to dip, I think, when I'm transitioning. Not that I can't read mojo when I'm moving and so forth, but I've noticed when I'm on the move and sort of like things are in flux, I don't like to close things. First of all, my confidence goes down in general, so my reading is less good. It's still excellent. I'm still a very good person, people reader, but it's not as good. When I'm in transition, in flux, I don't have as much. Even when I am looking at something and I'm like, that's clearly such and such. It's clearly such and such. I feel that I really can't even think. I can't even summon a demon to play demon's advocate on me of why I'm wrong. It seems right. I still don't like calling things. I don't like moving things in any official way when I'm in flux. If I have to, I will, but I prefer not to. So basically, since I don't know what that's going to be, I have to make a tactical call, and my tactical call I'm going with, I know I can get some good work done here if I push myself in this overdrive capacity, which generally you don't do unless you have a very good reason, but I think I have a very good reason to do this. So that will be the plan. So Expect me to take a time out from reading in a lot of ways. Possibly, I don't know exactly how I feel, but there's a good chance I'm going to need to rest more than I normally do when I'm doing the transition and just after getting set up. And then prior to that though, expect me to be doing a lot of purifying. I'm going to just do everything I can. I'm going to hunt down everything I think might be an issue. Doesn't mean I'll confirm it, but if I think there's an issue at all, I'm going to pull it depending, and try and really get things as clean as I can and get the most use out of my lens while I have this. So today anyway, I've been pushing for a while, and right now I am in my in-between, where I got my dinner and so forth, and I would naturally then shift into some other things. I would talk with Jailene about stuff, go over cases or so forth, which I won't be able to do with her. She's been focusing on this, which is a bummer because I'm doing G alpha males now, and then I was going to go into just G in general, Jai in general. And you know how I did the interpretive sweep? I was like thinking like it'd be really good with Jailene to set up the values-based sweep, and that would leave just the practicals to kind of push on, and as far as like just the mojos themselves, not career bubbles, but just the, say alchemies. Anyway, that's going to be a bit of a miss, but I'm looking as a chance to kind of show off to her. That's why I'm shifting it. I'm not going to get that bonus of her working with the cases with me, because that does give me a lot of strength, and it helps me a lot to give energy and clarity to my lens and balance. So I'm going to try and treat it as, this is like a test. My Jaini, higher spirits, projected into Jailene, are getting me to do it on my own. Like I can do it on my own. You know what I mean? I'm a big kid, and I'm going to do it on my own. This activity we plan more to do together, and then show off what is my takeaways. And then, as needed, ask her for some of the really tough ones. I'll try to grab her. Should probably have time for maybe little things here and there, but not the kind of like we're doing it start to finish together, which I was sort of planning on. So again, I'm turning the limited time span into an opportunity to show off overdrive mode. And then also, I'm planning on to complete that maneuver, and keep me honest on this, I need to then do some shifting of things when I come out in order to refresh my lens. So I'm going to overdrive, and then I will need to give myself a little bit of refresh, and I'll have to kind of think on how to do that. And then I'll be working where my spirits are keen to go next after I kind of did this work in the interpretives. They're keen to go into the values-based sweep, the values-based octet. I was daunted to take that on by myself, but I am using this as an opportunity to show my courage. It's something I had been daunted before, and it would be easier with that sort of social alchemy that was planned prior, but it is doable without it. So even just thinking, that's helpful. Even when I was actually scared to kind of go into the values-based octet this deep in general. And then I talked myself to, like, if Jailene will go with me, I think I can do it. And so we started doing that. And I'm like, cool, but now she won't be able to do that, at least not very much. But now I think I could do it. It'd be hard. I'll have to go slower and be more focused and make sure my game's really on meticulously, even more than before, but I think I can do it. And then I will show myself I can do that, and my spirits, and then I can show these kind of nuggets to Jailene and give her like free insights, like that can be something nice for her to look to at the end of the day. So her victories and her missions here can feed me, and vice versa, but we're gonna kind of have to go like solo and then kind of like share work, where we were planning to go like tag team on some stuff. On that, I'm gonna take a little more time out here just to refresh myself. I'm gonna make it limited, but I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm going to be listening to Geesh Girl's new song that she sent. She has a video, I think you should all check it out. I listened to it once already, and I really liked it, but I'm going to listen to it twice more. Once here, and then I'm going to go and look at the stuff that Mitchell has newly put out and enjoy that, and then I'm going to listen to the Geesh Girl song once more time, and then I'm going to go back and push again. I'm going to push again until I really can't do any more, and then probably just crash out to bed. That is the plan. Okay, so that is a change of where I was before, but I think we can see why I need to do it. And boom, that's the plan. Now I'm just going to execute. Catch you later.